September 9th, 2017. Rosemont, Illinois. It was 3:20 a.m. when the cameras caught her last moments, staggering alone through a hotel kitchen moments before she disappeared, a night out with friends, a missing girl, and a body found inside a hotel freezer. What really happened to 19-year-old Kenneka Jenkins? This is a story of surveillance footage, institutional delays, and the persistent questions that linger. Kenneka Jenkins was 19 years old, a young woman from Chicago. Friends described her as vibrant, full of life, and deeply loved by her mother, Teresa Martin. Like many young people, she was navigating the transition into adulthood, looking forward to her future. For Teresa, Kenneka was not just a daughter, but a close companion, her best friend. Her life, filled with the ordinary joys and challenges of youth, would abruptly end in circumstances that continue to perplex and disturb. The evening began, as many do, with plans for a social gathering. On September 8th, 2017, Kenneka drove with friends from Chicago to a party on the 9th floor of the Crowne Plaza, Chicago O'Hare Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois. The room had been booked for the gathering, and for hours, videos were posted to social media platforms like Snapchat and Facebook, showing friends socializing, dancing, and listening to music. As the night progressed into the early morning hours of September 9th, the situation shifted. At approximately 1:30 a.m., Kenneka's sister, Leonore Harris, received a call from Kenneka's friends, informing her that Kenneka was missing. The last confirmed sighting of Kenneka by her friends in the hotel room was around 1:30 a.m. From that moment, a sequence of events, partially captured by the hotel's extensive surveillance system, began to unfold. Upon learning Kenneka was missing, her friends began searching the hotel themselves. Unable to locate her, they contacted Kenneka's mother, Teresa Martin, around 4 a.m. A desperate Teresa, accompanied by Leonore, arrived at the Crowne Plaza shortly after 5 a.m. Their immediate plea for assistance was met with institutional protocol. Hotel staff initially informed Teresa that they could not review surveillance footage without a police report, citing guest privacy. Teresa then contacted the Rosemont Police Department. The police, however, advised her to wait a few hours, suggesting Kenneka might simply reappear or be with other friends as she was an adult. This initial delay, a standard procedure perhaps, was agonizing for a mother whose child was missing. By 7:14 a.m., with no sign of Kenneka, Teresa formally filed a missing person report. It was only then that Rosemont police began their search, initially focusing on the hotel rooms where the party had taken place. Over the next several hours, a coordinated search involving police and hotel staff commenced, reviewing surveillance footage and physically checking various areas of the vast hotel. The hours continued to tick by. The search extended into the early hours of September 10th. At approximately 12:25 a.m., nearly 24 hours after Kenneka was last seen, a hotel employee, during a more thorough search, made a grim discovery. Kenneka Jenkins was found inside a walk-in freezer in an unused kitchen area of the hotel. The freezer was located away from the main hotel operations, not regularly used by staff. She was found lying on her side, dressed in the same clothes she had worn to the party: a black jacket, jeans, and sneakers. Her cell phone was also found with her. The condition of her body in the extreme cold provided the initial clues for investigators. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office conducted an autopsy. The official findings stated the cause of death was hypothermia, with contributing conditions of alcohol intoxication and the presence of topiramate, an epilepsy and migraine medication. Her blood alcohol level was determined to be 0.112. There were no signs of physical trauma or sexual assault. The freezer's interior safety release was found to be functional, and the interior light was off. The official conclusion from the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office stated Kenneka's death was accidental, caused by hypothermia. The presence of alcohol and topiramate, a drug Kenneka was not prescribed, were listed as significant contributing factors, suggesting impaired judgment and an accelerated onset of hypothermia. The Rosemont Police Department, after reviewing all available evidence, including over 30 hours of surveillance footage, also concluded their investigation with no signs of foul play. However, for many, this explanation did not fully reconcile with the available evidence, sparking widespread public doubt. The full surveillance footage, particularly the moments directly leading up to her entering the freezer, was never publicly released, leading to speculation about missing sections. Online communities scrutinized the released clips, highlighting perceived inconsistencies in Kenneka's movements and the timeline. Claims of assault and suggestions that she could not have entered the freezer alone circulated rapidly, fueled by the question of how a young woman, even intoxicated, could become trapped in an industrial freezer for so long without any struggle or noise being heard. The presence of topiramate, a drug she was not prescribed, also raised questions about how it entered her system, although police found no evidence of forced ingestion. These unanswered questions, combined with the initial institutional delays, became the foundation for a profound public distrust of the official narrative. The world saw surveillance footage. They saw theories, headlines, hashtags. But Teresa Martin? She saw something else, a daughter who never came home. When Kenneka Jenkins went missing, Teresa didn't wait. She drove to that hotel before sunrise, begged staff for help, pushed police to act. She fought for answers in real time, while cameras rolled and doors stayed shut. She didn't buy the accidental death story, and she didn't stop pushing. In 2018, Teresa filed a $50 million lawsuit against the hotel, its security, and the restaurant, alleging negligence. She fought not just for Kenneka, but for every family left in the dark when the system fails. The lawsuit settled in the 2023, confidentially, quietly. But her voice? It never went quiet. Teresa Martin reminded the world, Kenneka wasn't a case. She was her daughter, her best friend, and she deserved better. The official investigation into Kenneka Jenkins' death has been closed. The findings remain consistent. An accidental death due to hypothermia, exacerbated by substances in her system. Yet, for many, the case continues to echo with a quiet unease. The surveillance footage, the initial delays, and the precise sequence of events that led Kenneka Jenkins to that walk-in freezer still fuel profound questions. A mother waiting in a hotel lobby, surveillance screens rolling, and a door that never opened again for Kenneka Jenkins.